There comes a moment in every person's life where silence becomes the only language that still protects the soul. And the older we grow, the more we realize that not everyone deserves access to our mind, our time, or our peace. As Marcus Aurelius warned, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What he didn't need to explain, but what we all eventually learn, is that the wrong people try to stain that soul on purpose. Today we talk about the 4 signs, the final warnings, that tell you it's time to walk away completely, without hesitation, without guilt, without looking back. Not out of anger, but out of self-preservation, out of the quiet discipline a strong inner world demands. Let's begin. Sign 1. They drain your mind more than they feed it. Some people don't come into your life to love you, support you, or walk beside you. They come to consume you. Psychologists call them energy parasites. The Stoics called them disturbers of the inner citadel. Epictetus spoke of them without mercy. If they harm your peace, they are not your people. This type of person has a pattern. You feel mentally heavier every time they leave. Your thoughts become clouded. Your mood drops. Your focus weakens. It's as if their presence rewires your internal state into something smaller, weaker, more reactive. It doesn't matter if they're a partner, a friend, or even family. If every interaction strips away your clarity, if their words leave scars you must heal alone, if you constantly have to recover from them, then you're not in a relationship. You're in a psychological battlefield. And the strongest thing you can do, the most disciplined thing, is to exit the battlefield entirely. People like this never take responsibility. They feed on conflict. They create storms, then accuse you of being unable to handle rain. But listen closely. A Stoic doesn't stay where their peace is constantly under attack. We don't argue, we walk away. We don't beg, we detach. We don't explain. We protect our inner world with the same seriousness a soldier protects a fortress. When someone repeatedly cracks your stability, when their presence becomes a threat to your emotional discipline, that is your signal. Cut all contact. Not tomorrow. Not after one more chance. Now. Because no wisdom grows in a mind that is constantly repairing itself from the same person. Sign 2. They manipulate your emotions to control your decisions. There is a darker type of person, a person who cannot stand your independence, your clarity, your strength. To them, your calm is a threat, your confidence is a challenge, your boundaries are an insult, so they resort to emotional manipulation, blame shifting, guilt tripping, silent treatment, behind your back twisting of stories, subtle insults wrapped in fake concern, sudden kindness when they want something, disappearing when you need honesty. This is not accidental behavior. This is strategy. Seneca once wrote, "A man is enslaved by anyone he cannot criticize." When someone punishes you for speaking truth, expressing needs, or disagreeing, they don't want connection. They want control. These people use your empathy against you. Your loyalty becomes their leverage. Your kindness becomes their weapon. And here is the harshest truth. The more you try to reason with them, the deeper they hook into your emotions. A wise person does not fight a manipulator. A wise person deprives them of access. We do not win by engaging. We win by disappearing from the battlefield entirely. Walking away is not cowardice. It is wisdom. It is what Marcus Aurelius called choosing not to be harmed, and therefore not harmed. When a person twists your emotions into chains, you must sever the connection completely. No part-time contact. No slow fading out. No let's stay friends. Cut them off. A manipulator cannot haunt a door you've welded shut. 3. When their presence slowly corrupts your inner world. There is a kind of person whose damage is not loud, but gradual, not explosive, but corrosive. They don't sabotage your life in one dramatic moment. They sabotage it molecule by molecule. And the worst part is that we often don't notice the decay until we feel our inner world collapsing under its own weight. This is the kind of person Marcus Aurelius warned us about when he wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Because if someone constantly introduces chaos into your thoughts, then little by little they dye your soul in the color of their dysfunction. This is the moment we must cut contact, not out of hatred, not out of revenge, but out of preservation. Stoic researcher Donald Robertson writes that one of the greatest forms of self-control is the ability to guard the impressions we allow into our mind. Meaning, the people we allow into our lives are not neutral. They are either strengthening our moral character or eroding it. And the most dangerous person is not the one who insults you openly. It's the one who subtly rewires your inner compass. It begins quietly. One day you speak less freely because you fear their reaction. Another day you suppress your joy because they mock what makes you shine. Soon you're walking on psychological glass, fearing that any step, any word, any mood will ignite their instability. At first you excuse them. You rationalize their bitterness. You tell yourself they're going through something, that you're being understanding, that it's not that bad. But inside, your spirit, your clarity, your ability to stay balanced begins to fracture. Epictetus once warned, "If you are not careful, you will become the companion of a wolf." But wolves don't always look like wolves. Sometimes they look like friends, partners, family, colleagues. People who claim they care but drain you until you become a dim version of yourself. And this is where the Stoic heart must make its hardest decision, because a true practitioner of inner discipline understands that anything compromising your peace is compromising your humanity. And the most destructive relationships aren't the explosive ones, the fights, the arguments, the dramatic endings. No. The most destructive relationships are the ones that slowly change who we are. When someone makes you ashamed of your sensitivity, when someone makes you doubt your own judgment, when someone makes you feel inferior, unworthy, unimportant, when someone turns your inner calm into a battlefield. That is not a person you can grow around, and growth is the mission. A philosopher once said, "We fall to the level of our surroundings." Not rise, fall. Because decline always slides faster than discipline rises. And people who corrode your inner world make you fall not all at once, but piece by piece, your patience, your confidence, your joy, your clarity, your purpose. So cutting contact is not abandonment, it is alignment. It is protecting the integrity of your inner kingdom. Seneca reminds us, a great mind becomes invincible when it withdraws into itself. Meaning when we have the courage to walk alone rather than kneel for connection that costs us our soul, we become unshakable. We often fear losing people, but the deeper fear, the one we rarely admit, is losing ourselves while trying to keep them. And so this is the lesson. When their presence pollutes your peace more than their absence would, when your inner world trembles every time they enter it, when staying with them means betraying yourself, that's the moment, that's the sign. That's when a Stoic heart knows. Cutting contact is not cruelty. Cutting contact is a higher form of love, love for the person you're trying to become. In the end, we protect our peace not by isolating ourselves from humanity, but by refusing to let someone else's darkness shape our identity, because we only get one inner world, and we must guard it like something sacred. 4. When they force you to betray your own nature. There comes a moment in life, not loud, not cinematic, not wrapped in drama, when you feel something inside you begin to fracture. It's not caused by chaos outside, but by a deeper, more painful conflict. The slow realization that someone in your life is forcing you to abandon the person you are meant to be. And this is one of the most profound signs that you must cut all contact. You see, for those of us who strive for inner discipline and self-mastery, our character is our compass. Our moral code, our emotional clarity, our ability to remain grounded, these are not decorations. They are our armor and our identity. But some people make it impossible to uphold that identity, not because they attack us directly, but because they subtly pressure us to betray ourselves. Marcus Aurelius warned us in Meditations, "The worst harm is done to your soul when you lose the ability to act as your nature demands." He wasn't speaking about extreme events. He was speaking about quiet, everyday corruption, the kind that comes from people who slowly reshape your behavior through guilt, manipulation, or emotional distortion. These are the people whose presence demands that we become someone smaller, someone quieter, someone angrier, someone more defensive, someone we no longer recognize. And the tragedy is that this transformation is so gradual that we often don't notice it until the damage is already done. Stoic scholar William Irvine once wrote that, "To live a tranquil life, you must protect the architecture of your mind." But some individuals, without intention, without awareness, sometimes without malice, begin to dismantle that architecture brick by brick. Their expectations crush your authenticity. Their judgment poisons your joy. Their chaos forces you into roles you never wanted to play. Their instability makes you reactive instead of intentional. And over time, you become a version of yourself that is unsteady, defensive, frustrated, or even numb. This is the internal alarm a Stoic never ignores, because a true practitioner of self-mastery understands that the most important battlefield is the one inside. When someone's influence forces you to act against your principles, when their presence pulls you away from your deepest values, your soul begins to experience a kind of moral suffocation. Epictetus said, "When you give up your integrity, what do you have left to defend?" And that is the core. That is the moment of truth. Because every relationship, every connection, every bond in our lives has one hidden question woven into it. Who must I become in order to stay connected to you? If the answer requires you to swallow your truth, if the answer demands you silence your voice, if the answer forces you into guilt, fear, emotional volatility, or a life of constant apologizing, then you're not in a relationship. You're in a psychological cage. People speak often of toxic behavior, manipulation, gaslighting, emotional instability. But the darkest damage is not in the behavior itself. It's in the version of you that behavior forces into existence. And this is where the philosophical heart must rise. Not in anger, not in resentment, not in the desire to punish, but in defense of something far more sacred, your natural character. Because your nature, your groundedness, your clarity, your self-control is not something accidental. It is the product of every struggle you've endured, every battle you've fought, every wound you've healed. It is the heritage of your pain and the reward of your discipline. To betray it for the comfort of companionship is the greatest loss. Seneca once wrote, "Associate with those who lift you higher. Withdraw from those who make you fall." But falling is seldom sudden. It is incremental. It happens in small compromises, tiny concessions, what psychotherapists call micro-betrayals of the self. One day you pretend to be okay with something that hurt you deeply. Another day you laugh when you wanted to speak. Then another day you apologize for something that wasn't your fault, just to keep the peace. And piece by piece, your integrity erodes. This is how the self dies, not with thunder, but with whispers. And so, when someone forces you to contort yourself into a shape that does not reflect your nature, when being near them demands emotional performances instead of emotional truth, that is the moment a Stoic knows the path forward.